Hydrogen is moving forward. It really now is up to Canada as to whether it wants to move forward to help its industry to decarbonize and to help take part in that enormous economic opportunity.
Hi, you're watching the Global Energy Show's 5 by 5. I'm Rachel Gregory, and with me today is Mark Kirby, President and CEO of the Canadian Hydrogen and Fuel Cell Association. Mark is an experienced executive in the chemicals and clean energy space and has a decade of experience in the hydrogen and fuel cell sector. Thank you so much for joining me today, Mark.
Thank you, Rachel. It's good to be here today.
Canada released its national hydrogen strategy in December 2020. Where does hydrogen fit in the energy mix?
Well, hydrogen is a clean fuel pathway. There's not many options. We've got clean power, electricity, clean biofuels, and we've got clean hydrogen. So those are really the only way you can get to net zero other than continuing to use fossil fuels, but combining that with carbon management and sequestration. Those are the choices Canadian companies have, and we really need to start thinking about making sure they have good access to all those clean fuels so they can manage their transition to net zero efficiently.
In your opinion, what is needed to commercialize hydrogen technologies as the world transitions to a low carbon economy?
Well, there's a lot of work required. There's been enormous progress made over the past several decades. The fuel cell technology that is used in transportation has improved vastly, but there's not enough of them. Similarly, hydrogen production. Hydrogen production has come down in cost, and I'm talking about clean hydrogen production. So that's hydrogen produced without GHG emissions. We now have numbers of ways to make that. We can make that from clean power. Through electrolysis, we can make it from fossil fuels by managing the CO2 emissions through carbon management and sequestration. And we can also produce it from biomass. But we still need more. We need massive investment in that hydrogen. And then we also have the challenges around how do you move that hydrogen? How do you get it from where it's produced to where it's needed? And how do you get the fueling stations in place to dispense it for the vehicles?
And what are some of the advantages that Canada has in the hydrogen sector? And are there opportunities to become a leader globally when it comes to the innovation and technology of these projects?
We have globally recognized companies that sell their products and services around the world, are involved in projects. They're supplying hydrogen production equipment, fuel cells, fuel cell technology and products. So, we already have the advantage that we have leading companies in place today. We also are a major producer today of clean hydrogen. I think actually at this stage, we are the world's largest producer of clean hydrogen, largely based on some of the work that's being done in Alberta today, but also in Quebec, where we have hydrogen production from Quebec's abundant, low-cost, clean power. We have some advantages, and to maintain that, we need to be supporting that industry. And the main thing is to start doing commercialization here in Canada. Our companies can compete around the world, but it would really help them and help them stay anchored in Canada if there was more deployment happening here in Canada. Hydrogen is moving forward. It really now is up to Canada as to whether it wants to move forward to help its industry to decarbonize and to help take part in that enormous economic opportunity.
Well, it's all part of the energy transition. The world is moving towards clean, sustainable energy, and it's a big topic right now. So what do you feel companies can do to better prepare for this?
The main thing they need to do is to start their planning, evaluating options, deciding what are the right mix of technologies that they can use to decarbonize their operations. Hydrogen has the potential to be the low cost or the most efficient way for them to decarbonize. So it really is in their interest to start supporting the build out of infrastructure, to start supporting demonstration projects for hydrogen vehicles and hydrogen technology.
Well, a great example of an oil sands company moving on board with this is Suncor, who's partnered with ATCO to develop Canada's largest hydrogen project in Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta. So why is Alberta such a great place for projects like this? And where do you see the future of projects taking off such as this in Alberta?
I will lay a lot of the tribute to the companies themselves. There's already a massive hydrogen industry in Alberta. They have done the investment in the project for the CO2 trunk line. So there's a location and now a means that they can effectively do the carbon management of hydrogen production and produce low-cost hydrogen. That type of convergence is something we really need to be looking at. You're looking to get hydrogen in place for one application. Well, how can we take advantage of that to make low-cost hydrogen available for another application? Alberta is really leading in this, but there's opportunities like that right across the country, around ports, around transportation hubs, around industrial processing centers. Those are areas where we really need to get these parties that don't typically talk together to start looking at how they can share some of these resources.
It's great learning about this. And as you said, it's happening so fast and there is an awareness factor. So hopefully, getting the word out there and educating where people will bring more projects like this to our country and across the world. So thank you so much for taking time.
Thanks, Rachel. Really appreciate it.